Listen, friends, there is an overwhelm that hits leaders in the spring. If you're feeling it, you are normal. Secondly, you cannot stay there. Here's why it's challenging. My name is Alan Briggs, and I am a tired parent right now. Can I just say that? This is a weird time of year. So on one hand, if you are toward the end of the school year, my kids are just finishing up for the year, there is something almost every single night. And some nights there are 2 or 3 things that are going on. And so these things are stacked at the end of the school year. I was talking to a parent yesterday and they just said, "Oh, I can barely keep up." And we're just laughing saying, "Yep, me too." I was talking to a teacher that's like, "I am so grumpy with the kids right now." I'm talking to leaders right now that feel like, man, something's not clicking in our business and I'm just tired. I was talking to another business leader that is tired because everything is just coming in. Sales are going crazy and there are good things, there are hard things. Listen, friends, there is an overwhelm that hits leaders in the spring. If you're feeling it, you are normal. Secondly, you cannot stay there. Here's why it's challenging, because we are hitting the end of a season and we are right at the beginning of a huge opportunity for summer. What's the opportunity? The opportunity is replenishment. The opportunity is family fun and connection. Opportunities to get out of the office a little bit more and to be able to focus on some things outside of work that truly matter to us. I love my coaching clients. If you're watching, just to say it's an honor to walk alongside of you. One of my coaching clients was saying, I work about the same amount in the summer, but I work a little bit more from home. I work a little bit more in the mornings so I can get more time with my kids in the afternoon. So maybe for you, it's not an hour shift that's going to be coming up, but it's an energy shift or a schedule shift that's coming up. I find that leaders need some kind of both power down and change up in the summer. What's your power down for this summer? What's your change up for this summer? So in the last few weeks, we've been talking about this over on the podcast, and we've got a summer guide for you. And there's 4 areas that I believe are key. I'm not going to mention them here today, but go ahead and snag that guide below. And there are 4 different areas that if we're not intentional about, the summer will go by like that. And we know that the fall is this huge momentum opportunity. And we know that the summer has this replenishment, family trip, vacation, pull back a little bit from work opportunity. And one of the phrases that I want to remind you of, that I probably remind leaders of twice, maybe 3 times a week, is this: wise leaders make use of rest and use of momentum. If the fall is generally a momentum season, then I would invite you to a rest season here. I use the analogy of a surfer, is that if surfers were jumping into the wave all the time, they'd be so exhausted. But there's plenty of time to lay around on your board, to get out beyond the waves and wait for that next set to come in. But as soon as it does, start paddling, because it's probably going to be coming for you in the fall. Different opportunities, different momentum, different impact, different income potential in the fall. So what is this summer for? And those 4 areas will help you be kind of guideposts along the way. So overwhelm, what is it? I believe that it is actually a state of mind that can lead to a way of life. I think it's bigger than just an emotion. If you were to say, "Hey, how are you doing?" the first thing you probably hear is busy in our culture, but often leaders may say a little bit below the surface, "I'm just overwhelmed. Just feels like everybody needs me all the time. It just feels like my kids need everything from me. It feels like I'm giving rides all across town. It just feels like my employees really, really need me right now. And I'm answering questions. Just feels like these big decisions require my time right now." And maybe you feel like you're just behind in all the different areas. I had an opportunity yesterday to really put this to work. My daughter had this all-day track meet that she was invited into. And honestly, I knew she wasn't going to win any events. It's not really her jam, but I wanted to be that parent that's showing up for my kids. So my wife took the day off. I was able to take most of the day off, but there were actually things that I needed to be getting done. This is a big week for me as we head into launching the book here pretty soon. We got some big projects that are coming out. That time's got to come from somewhere. And so even though I planned ahead, I felt like I was behind. And I simply just was able to shift some things around and was able to do some things last night and then today that will still help me to be able to stay on pace while still having a Sabbath this weekend. The lie in that moment is I can't take time to go and be with my daughter. I can't take time to go support her in this moment. And that's a lie. We need to reshift some things. I want to invite you to ask the question in your overwhelm, what would have to be true in order to blank? And for me, the question I was asking yesterday, what would have to be true in order to show up really well for my daughter and meet the demands and promises to my team and to my clients? I was able to do both because I thought about it uniquely, created some solutions, and ultimately I'll still be fine at the end of the week, but we got to shift some things around. Friend, if you are living in overwhelm, maybe it's lowercase overwhelm or you're just feeling it this week or for a few weeks, or maybe you're saying, I am uppercase overwhelm. I mean, I've been living there for a long time. It is time to pause because I believe overwhelm is pre-burnout. That if you live there, you're going to stop quitting on the thing, or you're going to start quitting on the things that matter to you. You're going to stop doing the things that are super important to you. And in the irony of that, what we need right now is rest. What we need is to hold our Sabbath day. What we need is to not work every evening. What we need is actually to pull away from the work so we can get those fresh ideas. But while we're overwhelmed, our minds tell us, you don't have time. You don't have space. You can't show up for your kid. You can't take time alone by yourself. You can't just pick up that book that you want to read just because. You can't take time to go sit outside on a beautiful day. You've got too much to do. That's what our brains tell us in overwhelm. Friends, it's okay to be here, and you're probably normal if you're overwhelmed as a leader or as a parent, but we can't stay there. My challenge for you is this: the second half of May, plan for June and beyond so that June can be different. Maybe you're showing up really well for your family, you're showing up really well for your employees, the people around you, your community, and you're serving a lot. You're pushing out a lot, and that's beautiful. The essence of life is living and loving well, showing up well for people. But make sure that you have some times of planned rest coming up. I just want to remind you, if you don't plan now for the rest that you need in the summer, you will not have the space for recovery, replenishment, reconnection with your family, all the great R words that keep us going for the long haul. Because we don't just want to serve well now. We don't just want to serve well in the fall or 2 years from now. We're going to do this for the long haul. We've got to find a rhythm where we can build replenishment in there. Friend, my name is Alan Briggs, and I am a tired parent. And if that's you, then we can just admit it, we're normal together. But I will not stay here. I refuse to live here, and I'm not going to live in overwhelm. What about you? How are you going to plan for the summer? How are you going to plan ahead? Again, utilize our growth guide for the 4 different areas that you can utilize the summer for. As you rest a little bit, to make sure you're replenishing, make sure that you're watering the things in your life that truly matter the most. We love you. We're for you. Friends, live well amidst the overwhelm and plan for your rest and replenishment this summer.